Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're in the woods here doing some summer scouting for some buck bedding areas. Basically the first set I'm putting here actually is on a watering hole. I actually have an old Muddy Pro here, and this trigger speed isn't great on this camera, so it's more of for like a grazing around area that these deer are going to be in, to get some pictures of them. So I'm putting this first camera here on this watering hole here. Bugs. Alright guys, so first set of the day is going to be here on this watering hole. I'm targeting this watering hole just because there isn't a ton of spots for these deer to get some water around here, and basically a lot of these deer are going to be funneling right into here to get a quick drink. Basically we have actually a really well used deer trail right here, and also another one just across there coming right in this little CRP field here. Just coming right to the watering hole. I'm putting the set right there, actually in the water. I have a post. Yeah, I'm gonna go set it up real quick. A post around here somewhere I gotta find from last year. I think it's over here though, so let's see here. Yeah, there it is. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna set this watering hole set up real quick. And yeah, let's go. Alright, just got the set hung here. Basically I have just an old fence post here, and basically I put the Muddy camera on there. And basically I got looking at both entryways to this little pocket of water here. That one trail leading down right into here, and also another trail leading right down into here as well. Right here is another spot they can get into the water hole as well. There isn't too much of a defined trail leading right here, but what I'm going to do actually, just to increase the odds of me getting deer on camera using this watering hole, is I'm going to block off this entryway with just some downfall. I know it's not much, but basically what I did is just basically made this little barrier here, just some sticks, some downfall here. It's not really much, and it's not really necessary to do. I'm just doing it just to hopefully increase my chance of getting these deer on camera. Alright guys, the first camera set done. Basically just have it on that T-post over there looking over this watering hole. Hopefully we'll get some deer on camera here. So on to set number 2. Mosquitoes are bad today. Whew. Alright guys, so set number 2 of the day. We just got done setting that watering hole set. I'd say around 400 to 500 yards away from here actually. But basically we're now back into the more thicker areas, and actually this very high stem count area. And we're in the bedding areas where these bucks tend to bed. We're going to be setting a camera basically on this tree right here, just overlooking where these two old logging roads meet, basically heading right up into the CRP field here. So I actually had a camera here last year, but I also had an old set here, basically up in this oak tree here, this red oak, with this big spruce just giving me some extra cover. But yeah, we're going to quickly set this camera up here. I have had a camera here in the past, like I said, and I've gotten tons of velvet bucks on camera, along with bucks in the rut later on in the season, just cruising through here looking for does. But yeah, I do like to target these high stem count areas in the summer. We're pretty far back in the woods here, basically where there's like zero hunting pressure, and these deer just thrive back here during the summer, and moving on into the later season as well. Basically what this is just a ton of just old logging roads, just boom, boom, boom. I mean, it's just everywhere is through here. I'd say around like a 50 to 60 acre span, just all through this timber here. And basically what this spot is a great spot for these bucks to bed. And what they bed in is actually not necessarily this super high stem count, but it's just like these little pockets of cedars, which are just littered all throughout all of these old logging roads here, and it just provides a ton of shade for both the bucks and the does. and the bucks just feel super comfortable back here just because, you know, it's away from everything. There isn't a ton of pressure back here, really nothing at all besides me, and you know, these bucks just thrive through here. Basically what they do is, you know, they bed up in the shade in the cedar thickets, and they come out into this high stem count and just browse throughout the day. And basically this spot is located, I'd say no more than 150 yards away from a big CRP field, which they also do browse in. There is tons of browse in there for the deer to browse on. And basically this is the bedding area, and they move out into the CRP fields later on into the evening. We got that camera hung right there, just overlooking where these two old logging roads meet. And it's just pretty much a funnel that these deer use to go right back into the CRP fields here. So yeah, I do have some history with this spot. Last season I got quite a few pictures of some velvet bucks just moving all throughout here all summer long, basically just browsing on all this high stem count here, which will get a lot taller. It's currently only, I'd say, like 3 feet, but it'll get up to around, you know, that 4 or 5 foot mark. And that CRP field out there, also really great browse for these deer, and that'll get up, you know, to that 5-6 foot mark. So really, you know, if you can find some high stem count areas in your piece of land that you're hunting, you know, it tends to hold quite a bit of deer. This spot that I'm hunting doesn't have a ton of pressure, like I said. You know, it's not public land, this is private land, and there isn't a lot of hunters here. So, you know, these deer are not pressured a whole lot, besides the few hunters that do hunt it. And you know, this bedding area, I don't like to intrude too much. I do tend to hunt more on the edge of this bedding area out towards the CRP field more. Basically, that's just overlooking this crossing here, basically. But yeah, I mean, we have a really nice, well-used trail right there leading down this one. You know, another one right over there leading right up into there as well. And then we just have tons of trails leading in and out of all these little cedar thickets here. So just deer just cruise all through here, both in the summer and the fall. And that's just, you know, stuff you gotta learn just from hunting it and, you know, previous years of scouting. But yeah, and in this high stem count area, actually, there's just a ton of old buck sign through here. Tons of old rubs, and there's actually a couple scrapes, older scrapes, just, you know, down the lines here. And I mean, these bucks just cruise all these just old logging roads, and I mean, they just cruise looking for does and, you know, chasing them around, and you know, there's just tons, just littered with rubs all throughout here on the edges, both old and fresh from this past season. So, you know, it's just more stuff to look for when you're scouting. You know, the spot may be good during the summer and not so much during late season, but you know, with the amount of sign that I'm seeing, there's just tons of, you know, old rubs throughout here. So, you know, they're obviously using it during the late season. So, like, I mean, there's just, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, another one farther back there. There's about, you know, 5 or 6 old rubs just within this like area of just 20 yards, you know. Here's an older one, you know. Looks like it was actually an old rub, and it also looks like it got used a little bit this past season as well. Move over here about 5 yards, another old rub. There's 2 old rubs on this old tree, 2 old rubs on those old trees over there. Just moving a little bit more through here. Yeah, this old rub from this past season looks like just torn. I mean, torn to shreds. Like, this buck got angry at this thing, let me tell you what. You know, another old rub right here. And I mean, the stem count's pretty high right now, so it's kind of hard to, you know, see these rubs necessarily, but you know, the ones I do see, there are quite a bit, and I'm probably missing a whole bunch as well. But yeah, and this is just on the edge actually of that bedding area we were just in, setting that camera on this just high stem count area, as you can see. And these deer just cruise through here, you know, both early season and late season, as you can see. Because I mean, there's just tons and tons of late season sign throughout here, you know. Oh wow, look at that. One of my SD cards from last year. I wonder if it probably doesn't work anymore. I guess we'll try when we get to the house. But second camera set. We're gonna go set one more camera. Yeah, head over there right now. Alright guys, we just made it to spot number 3 of the day. Basically what this is we're on the edge of a big bedding area. This is actually nowhere near the bedding area we were just in. It's a total separate area. And basically what this is it's a huge bedding area, you know, that's surrounded by just CRP fields. I mean, I got like 4 to 5 different CRP fields just all around here surrounding it. And these deer just go into this super thick, overgrown cover and just bed in there. And basically what I'm doing right now is I have a very well used trail here. We got trail basically leading into some high stem count area, just some really tall grass basically, and I mean just littered with tracks, as you can see, just going in and out, and then also cutting in to the bedding area here to my right here. Just super thick, basically just super thick cover here that these deer just use to bed in. So yeah, we're gonna be setting a camera here, and I mean, here's a doe track right there. Alright, so that's set number 3 of the day. It is not a cell camera, just because this spot is a lot easier to access, and you know, these deer are more used to human pressure through here, so it's not as sensitive as those other bedding areas. Like for instance, that bedding area that I was in earlier, I put a cell camera there just because you know, that's a very sensitive area, and I don't want to intrude that area too much if I don't have to. So third set of the day done. Just basically overlooking this huge trail crossing on the edge of this just big bedding area here. So yeah, pretty cool. And yeah, I think this evening I'm going to be heading out to just basically do some more scouting and just basically drive around looking for some velvet bucks at some properties in some areas that I'm going to be hunting. So yeah, see y'all in 4 or 5 hours. Bumpy road.
Shake this cold good
Tom in the driveway right there.
Road, Juliet. Man, I bet that ain't all it's changed. Goddamn, I remember the night. Her high heels and my red wing boots, cutting couches in the living room, Juliet. Arms of your redneck Romeo.
Now we just had that little rabbit. That's pretty cool. I don't see too many of them around here, so
I can't win for all
that's always good to see. Alright, I just spotted the first deer
Contemplation
of the day, or of the evening,
conversation
in the ditch.
is all the truth.
So,
Where my mind wanders through.
just a doe. I wonder if she's alone.
Feelings
Probably does if she's not
I've known
moving away like
before
that.
I was grown. I could quit drinking. For that, what else is there?
Safety first, folks. Buckle up. And no hit another vehicle.
Push came down to shove, I'd be a fan before her love.
Wow, you already hit it?
She was shot